The year was 1954. With their sturdy, broken-down microphones, they were headed for greatness in the American West. Jack and Ron in the morning. If you don't laugh like this, you're probably normal.
The following entertainment special contains mature subject matter. Parents may consider some of the program content unsuitable for children. Parental discretion is advised.
It's the bad boys of radio. Here's Jack and Ron.
Hey, howdy, hi there, friends and neighbors. It is Jack and Ron. Jack Dam Elliott, Ron Dam Williams, America's two favorite jackasses, the trash of the broadcast industry, the garbage of the broadcast commercial industry, and we're proud of that.
Man, you're making me want to get up and leave.
I'm just so excited to be here on a Monday. We do this every Monday at 1 o'clock live from Othello's Italian Restaurant in Edmond, Oklahoma. They've got two locations, this one in Edmond at 1 South Broadway, right here in the heart, right here in the bowels of downtown Edmond. And they've got another location on Campus Corner in Norman. But we're here today and every Monday at 1 o'clock to kind of bring you an hour's worth of the crap we used to bring you on terrestrial radio.
Hey, crap is crap, man. Come on.
Only this way you don't have to wait through all the music and all that crap. We give it all to you right here in one big lump.
And all kinds of information that you can go ahead and throw away, or you can use or pass along where people can think you're brilliant. One of the things you want to hang for this one. They have a new study out. That new car smell, don't you just love it? Mm-hmm. You know, could cause cancer.
We'll have to find out about that.
We got the story on it.
All right. Also want to thank the folks here at Othello's for allowing us to come in here and rip up the premises every Monday at 1 o'clock for about a good hour or so. And thanks to Flash Hauler, the number one and major sponsor of this podcast, the number one video podcast in America.
Yeah, spring cleaning right around the corner. This is the time you can really, really use Flash Hauler's help.
They do it all. They haul. They move. Uber transports people. Flash Hauler transports merchandise. You got maybe a sofa, a rug, possibly a washer, a dryer, whatever it might be. You need to have transported from point A to point B. They do it. They've got drivers all over the city. It's just a matter of going to their website, Flash Hauler, FLASHOLR.com. Simple enough. All right. We got to do Too Tough Trivia to kick things off, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. And this one, you guys are pretty hip. You might know this one.
Well, you forgot to thank Richard, too, and let everybody know, if you're new to the podcast, Richard is the director, producer, executive producer, operator of the gear and all that crap. He's the guy behind the scenes that does it all.
Well, I didn't mention his name because we're going to be talking to him in just a little bit.
I see.
And, kind of drag him around the show a little bit. Not to embarrass, but to include.
All right.
All right. Too Tough Trivia, my friend. It was first called the Entertainment Learning System. What's it called now?
The Entertainment Learning System. What is it called now?
See, Richard has this look on his face, looking at it like, I've heard this before.
Entertainment Learning System.
The
Entertainment Learning System. What is it called now?
School. No. I'm thinking. Entertainment Learning System.
Yeah, you mentioned school. There was another lady that a teacher tried to start this relationship with a student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. And I keep saying,
we got a lot of
where
those.
was this when I was in school? None of this was happening. Or at least that I know of.
I never had the opportunity to engage in illicit activities with any female teacher that I may have had the eye for.
Yeah,
but
that was just one that I had. And she was boy. Anyway, I don't want to go back too far.
Do you have a guess on Too Tough Trivia, or we just wait till the end of the podcast?
Yeah, I can't. PBS? No.
That would have been a good one, though, PBS. Yeah. All right. Well, at the end of this number one video podcast in America, about 55 minutes from now, we'll give you the answer to the question. All right. Meanwhile, we got to get to Asinine Trivia. This is where we quiz Richard. And Asinine Trivia is a contest we developed years ago when members of the sales staff at the radio station would come to us and say, look, we've got to make this sound big. The client really wants this to be a huge giveaway. What do we got to give away? We would ask. And they say, well, look, we have a coupon good for 10% off on a pair of shoelaces. A coupon good for 10%. Yes, so make it sound big. So we'd say, we sure will. And then we'd turn around and pull asinine trivia. Trivia so easy, it's asinine. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
I think they
Question-
would have learned by now.
You'd think. Question 1, if I have $10 in my left front pocket and I have $10 in my right front pocket, what do I have?
Money.
Well, that's good.
$20.
That or the wrong pants. All right. Question number 2.
Wait a minute.
It's getting easier. Actually, you'd think the questions would get more difficult. Question 2. Where would I go for a Big Mac?
McDonald's.
You got it?
Do they still sell those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Yeah, they're a little small. I was watching an article, and they showed the original Big Mac and the one that you buy right now.
It's smaller?
It's
Really?
smaller. Yes, it is.
I did not know that.
Well, they eased it in on you.
Yeah.
You didn't notice.
They never told you. They just kept calling it the Big Mac.
That's it.
I wonder if Burger King reduced the size of their Whopper.
Well, if you can get a picture of the original one and the one that you buy now,
You can find out.
I'll bet it's a little smaller.
Well, one final question. Question number 3, Richard. Name the 2 guys who have won more broadcast awards than any other broadcasters in Oklahoma, who also chew double mint gum soaked in castor oil.
Now I know.
While sitting in a hot tub stuffed with pancake batter and stuffing that pancake batter in each other's navels, and who also performed the #1 video podcast in America.
Are you saying that they're in the tub together?
Well, that's what I've heard.
Jack and Ron.
You got it. Jack and Ron, there you
They're
go.
kinky.
All right.
A little
now-
bit. Okay.
All right,
now-
now we have a message from Chris Johnson. Chris, I'm trying to figure out, is he taking a shot at us or is he just making a comment?
What's he say?
It says, this show is one big lump. All right.
Oh, it is.
And then the next one, shout out to Richard for not convincing Jack to change the color of his headphones. And one more, Too Tough Trivia answer, hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics.
Yeah. By the way, wrong.
Yeah. Hooked on phonics. Good answer, but wrong. Okay. I've got this little deal here. I told these gentlemen we were going to do this as we started the show. You know, we do Dumbass Joke of the Day, which is coming up toward the end of the podcast. But in the meantime, I got a pre-Dumbass Joke of the Day, sort of like a prequel to what's yet to come with the Dumbass Joke of the Day. And this joke, the reason we're doing it, it rolls into a news story that I'm going to share with you in about 30 seconds. So the joke is this. A guy picks up his 13-year-old son at school. The dad knows the kid, his son, was trying out for the school play. The dad says, "So, son, did you get a part in the play?" And the kid says, "Yeah, I did, Dad. I'm playing the part of a man who has been married 20 years. And the dad says, "That's great, son. Keep up the good work. And before you know it, they'll give you a speaking part." Ring that bell, would you, man? Okay. Well, that kind of goes along with this story I'm going to share.
buddy.
And this story comes to us from the news outlet, Channel 4, and this is Heather Holman
More
report.
fathers need to pass that information along to their sons, I swear.
This is Heather Holman reporting.
New at 5, an Oklahoma man who shot his wife because she wouldn't be quiet learns his punishment. In October of 2021, investigators say Aaron Hutchins shot his wife in the head at their home in Spencer. He told investigators he pulled the trigger because his wife, quote, would not shut up. She survived that shooting, and today Hutchins received a life sentence. He'll have to spend at least 35 years behind bars before he's eligible for parole.
Now, there you go. 35 years in prison because she wouldn't shut up. But hey, after serving his 35 years, I'm guessing he'll plan to take his wife out for a night on the town, probably a shot and a beer.
I was about to say.
A shot and a beer.
I heard you. Now, I was checking that out. He didn't kill her, just shot her in
No,
the...
shot her in the head, but she didn't die. I don't know what
See, it
condition
just goes to
she's
show
in.
you.
I don't know what condition she's in today. I'd like to know. And so if you know this lady that was shot in the head by her husband,
Or if you're listening, lady, call us.
yeah,
That was here in Oklahoma? Yeah, Spencer.
Spencer,
Oh,
yeah. So feel free to let us know how it is. How'd you turn out after that shot to the head? Just wouldn't shut up.
Now, see, I don't understand that. Dude, if you got a car and with keys, you go ahead and you get in your car and you drive
leave.
away.
Yeah.
You just drive away. That's all you have to do,
Tell her
man.
he'll be back later when she's done talking.
Yeah.
Just get in the car and leave. Doesn't that make sense to you? Makes sense to me. But
Yeah.
this guy ends up doing 35 years. But hey, during those 35 years, he doesn't have to listen to her talk at all.
Now, did they?
Jackson a row today.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the fact that did anybody consider mentally what this may be doing to him? He may have just snapped for a moment, and he needs help rather than incarceration. You know, because after a while, when somebody won't do what you ask them to do or want them to do, and you're married to them, you can't over and over. You know, sometimes you can just snap. He didn't have a good attorney at all.
Ah, no, probably a public defender. Well, there you have it.
Lucky he didn't get the chair.
Here's here's a little piece of audio we have for you. Another piece of audio. How about that? A self-professed car thief. This is a person who's got a record for stealing vehicles, but has advice on how to prevent tweakers from stealing your car. Tweakers, by the way, are meth addicts. And this lady claims to have been a meth addict at one time, but now reformed, and she's no longer stealing cars, but giving advice on how not to have your car stolen.
Yeah, that's what she said.
How to keep your car from getting stolen from somebody who has an existing Grand Theft Auto felony on their record. Park near windows. Park somewhere that is an eye view of windows. Get a club. It's a deterrent. It keeps them away. No tweaker is taking the time to saw through your club. I promise you that. 2009. If you have a car that was made before then, I would be very careful because you have the type of car that the person who's wanting to steal it, would steal. Your new high-tech cars that have all of these gadgets and everything, they don't want those because they know they're going to get caught. The first thing that a tweaker, which might I say is one of the number one demographics of people that's going to try to steal your car, they don't want cars like that because in their head, it has a GPS in it. It's too nice. The alarm's going to go off. I'm not going to be able to get in and out safely. If you could take a peek into a tweaker's brain, you'd see exactly why they do not want your car.
Yeah, I think she meant gadgets, not gadgets, but the newer cars do have a lot of gadgets in them that help to prevent theft. And then if you put the club, she mentioned the club is that thing that screws onto your steering wheel that makes it impossible to turn the steering.
Yeah.
So even if you get the vehicle started, you can only go one direction, the direction the wheel is set
That's
in.
a big if, man. My son has a new truck, and I got in it. And I looked around.
You're
and
trying
it
to
looked
figure
like
out how to start it.
Yeah, it looked like a spaceship.
I know.
I said, this is a truck, man. Isn't that kind of like, let the back down and load it up and let's go haul some stuff? No.
That was the other thing that many people don't realize too. Most vehicles today are automatic transmissions, but if you've got standard, like a 4-speed or 6-speed on the floor, whatever, most of the criminals today don't know how to drive them. Most of the car thieves.
You're right.
Especially the meth addicts. Like she was talking about tweakers who are meth addicts who like to steal vehicles. I had this going back a ways, 73, wasn't in 1970, but I had this 1973 Camaro Z28, and I had a 38-pound bronze racing clutch put in it. It almost took 2 legs to push it down. So nobody could drive the damn thing. I could barely drive it.
Jeez.
It had this much. If you know anything about driving a standard, and the clutch, it only had about this much area for acceleration. Otherwise, you're going to get to that spot and kill the engine, or if you know how to drive it, you'll be fine. But generally speaking, the only people who know how are
What'd you do with that car?
people that I sold it
Yeah,
like an
okay,
idiot. I
yeah.
should have kept the damn
Yeah,
thing.
it was worth it. I'll tell you what. Did you get it new?
I did.
All right. You're a lucky man. Harvard University just did a big study, and it found that new car smell that we all enjoy might cause cancer.
How?
Well, what they did, they went to one of the vehicles, a number of them, new cars, and opened them up, and they took a measurement of everything in there, carcinogens.
Oh, the carcinogen.
Yeah, and a lot of them way over what they should be. So they're not saying don't buy a new car. It's just that this part that gets me. You need to leave the windows cracked for about 6 months to go ahead and let the smell and everything else, get out of your vehicle.
I wonder how that affects new car salesmen. because they're constantly in a new vehicle, taking people on test drives.
Especially during the heat.
In the,
and all that.
yeah,
I
in the
appreciate you.
showroom.
Well, I know some salesmen, and you know some, and I'm sure you know the answer to that question. Now, but let me say this: if you buy that new car smell that you can spray in your vehicle, that's okay.
Okay,
that's okay. It's just when it comes from the manufacturer, all that stuff that they put in there, especially if it's during the wintertime when you have the windows up. I guess summertime when you have the windows up too, you have your air conditioning on. But that's the main thing. They say do not have it where you certainly circulate all the air within your vehicle. If that's the case, you have to open it up where you get some fresh air in and maybe crack a window. But I had no idea that new car smell could be so dangerous.
I had no idea either. And that's why I wondered about new car salesmen. They're in new cars constantly. So we'll have to talk to our friends in the car business and see how many of them may have had some sort of reaction, a negative reaction.
We may be pulling their coattails to what's going on. Maybe they need a raise for working in a hazardous situation.
Sure, at least hazardous duty pay, no doubt.
Thank you very much.
Well, we got to take a break. We got to take a quick commercial break, come back, hang on. We'll tell you more about Flash Hauler, emails coming up, Roy the Movie Guy. We've got news of the I'll Be Damned, as well as the dumbass joke of the day, Tribond, and more.
And there are a lot of habits that we used to have, things that used to be really popular that aren't popular anymore. What are they? You hang tight with Jack and Ron. We'll tell you.
All right, back in a moment.
Hey, Jack, BK, I need some wings. Are you guys up there?
Affirmative. Your backup is cloud-based. It's all on the cloud nowadays.
That's funny. But you guys have the wings?
Winger, Jack. Winger. Winger. Hey, they had a couple of big hits back in the 80s, remember? Winger, big hair.
Great wings don't just fall from the sky. They come from Louie's, where we're preparing food fresh daily. Come try one of our great new sandwiches. Or wings with any of 7 delicious sauces. Louie's, we're in your neighborhood.
We've got this down to a science. Over. Yeah, we're just not up here winging it.
Hey, Al, I thought we were meeting at Othello's.
Hey, Jack, I am at Othello's.
Well, I'm looking around and I don't see you. Well, wait, are you at Othello's in Edmond?
No, I'm at Othello's in Campus Corner in Norman.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, both Othello's have great Italian food.
They sure do, and I'm having the baked ziti.
Ooh, I'm having chicken marsala.
Let's continue with the meeting.
Yeah, sure thing, over the phone, but I need one thing.
What's that?
Your credit card number, because you're buying. Othello's Italian Restaurant on Campus Corner in Norman and in downtown Edmond.
You bought it online, and now you need to haul that big couch. Flash hauler it. Bought a washer or dryer and need to transport it from the seller's location to yours? Flash hauler it. Have office furniture to move across town? Flash hauler it. Car breakdown and you need a tow? Flash hauler it. Anytime you need furniture or appliances moved or need a tow, Flash hauler it. Haul it, tow it, deliver it with Flash Hauler. Download the Flash Hauler app free. Do it now. Flash Hauler. All right. Hey, let us tell you a little bit more about Flash Hauler. These people are incredible. They have a feature called HOD, Hauling on Demand. No matter what you want to move from point A to point B, they can do it, and usually pretty quick. They have drivers all over the city. You go to flashhauler.com, FLASHOLR.com. And with these drivers all over the city, it's a lot like Uber, transporting people. You know, you no longer, if you had maybe you bought a washer and dryer at the big box store, they said, oh, well, we can transport it to you, but it's going to cost you extra and it's going to take 5 days. Not with Flash Hauler, usually the same day, even within hours. So just go to flashhauler.com.
Are you telling me that if I'm at the office or something like that and I leave an important part of my presentation, that Flash Hauler will go to my home, get it, and bring it to me? Just that, and perhaps save my job?
Very well could happen. I mean, you know, as long as somebody's there to let them in or hand them the presentation so that they don't have to break in. You know,
they don't want to do that.
No, they don't want to do that.
No, they don't want to do that.
They have that. So anyway, they do that. And they also have MOD, Moving on Demand. They'll now move you. They'll come in, box it all up, do whatever, and move you from, maybe you're moving from Midwest City to, I don't know, Ada or Ardmore, whatever. Woo! For God knows what reason, but you're moving anyway.
Yeah.
Just maybe to get away from family members or an ex-lover or whatever.
What if you have a bunch of new furniture you're going to get? All of a sudden, your tax money has come back in. You go get some new furniture and you want to do that. Will they go ahead and empty that room for you?
Be happy to. They'll empty the room. They'll move the new stuff in. as a matter of fact. And here's something else they have, a new feature called Nice and Free. Much of the merchandise they get comes from, senior citizens, elderly individuals downsizing, moving into a new property that's a lot smaller. They don't need that office desk. They don't need that recline. Whatever it is they don't need, they turn over to Flash Hauler. Flash Hauler gives it away free. Check it out on their website, flashhauler.com.
All right. If you are listening and watching this particular showgram right now, how many streaming sources are we on right now?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
And one that you could be on right now.
Yeah.
I'm pointing.
Okay.
YouTube,
right now, YouTube.
YouTube, baby.
YouTube.
Yeah. And live and in living color. So, hey, thank you so much. And be sure and go ahead and share.
Yeah.
You got to share. Let everybody know exactly how hip you really are. Much like Chris Johnson, who made the comments a moment ago when I said, is he taking a shot at us? And he says, I'd never take a shot at the Jack and Ron Show. I'd only take a shot with the Jack and Ron Show.
Thank you, buddy. And Orisa, let's see, Orisa, man, what a name here. It's a long one. Orisa Ann Martinez Flores is watching. Thanks for checking us out.
And thank you to Mike Fields, too, for checking us out. Guy's always there. Dude, me and you.
Had lunch with Mike the other day. You missed it. We went to lunch. A couple other folks.
Yeah. Well,
you were invited. You, like usual, you kind of blew us off. But hey.
No, I had an appointment, man. An appointment that would mean either a job or jail. So with those two, I figured.
What was the judge's final verdict?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Anyway, hey, Mike, great seeing you the other day. And that food was outstanding. Went to a place called Feast, F-E-A-S-T. It's out there. I think they have one on Northwest Highway, but this one we went to is off of Sooner Road and 15th, Southeast 15th and Sooner.
When are you going to pick a place, man?
Who, me?
Yeah. No, wait, first of all, who's doing all the picking?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
maybe you and I ought to pick a place sometime to where it's within actual driving range of our homes.
Yeah, or
we don't have to take an airline flight.
Or we could walk.
Yeah,
walk to the restaurant.
I told those guys they're going to owe me mileage after driving all the way to Southeast 15th and Saturday. But I mean, that's not that far from the middle of the city.
And especially when you look at the company that you have, these guys are
good guys, man.
Just crazy. And we're all basically sitting around this table unemployed. Anyway.
But a good bunch of people. All right, we got to get to
email.
The email, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Email time, because people have problems. They get into situations where they need help.
All right.
Well, rather than talk to Dr. Phil, they come to somebody who might actually have a valid answer. So they come to us.
All right. I had to edit this down a little bit. So, it just sounds crazy. That's the reason. Dear Jack and Ron, what's up with this girls' night thing? My girlfriend has started with a few friends, and they go out and party and have big fun. I don't like it, but what to do? She's free to do what she wants. Well, I'll put it this way, and so are you. Just that simple.
So this is a guy writing, I take it.
Yeah. And the big fun, should be with you. Get my drift? Yeah, that's the deal. So there's not a whole lot you can do about that unless you want to sit down and talk to her about it and let her know that it kind of bugs you a little bit. And, what's wrong with that? She goes out on girls' night. Make sure your boys' night is the same time. And then, nobody's at home.
Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah, it's just that
she's
simple,
going out
man.
on girls' night. Have the guys' night. That's the night you can go play poker or pool with your buddies or whatever.
What's girls' night? What do they do at girls' night? Go somewhere and strip club and let some guy, throw his G-string at him or what?
I don't know. I thought maybe they just went out and had a few drinks and.
Well, they can do that at somebody's house and save money.
True, but it's not the same as going out and having the band or the DJ play the music and all that.
Yeah, and I know what he's thinking. And some nice looking guy comes over and says,
"Hubba hubba,
you want to dance?" Well, okay.
Just this one time.
Yeah, I have a boyfriend. Is he here?
No.
Get up. Come here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show that much thigh with this slit in my skirt.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I didn't mean to show that much. Well, that's another story.
All right, we got to get... I hope that answer helped you, sir. I hope you realize she goes out, you go out. Make
just that simple.
Equal deal.
Yeah.
We got to get to Roy. Roy, the movie guy's got some information for us today on what's going on at the box office. Let's check in and say, hey, Roy.
Thank you, guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And now let's talk about what's opening up this weekend at the box office. The first movie on the list is Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Anthony Starr, and Dar Salim. During the war in Afghanistan, a local interpreter risked his own life to carry an injured sergeant across miles of grueling terrain. Rated R with a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes long. Up next, we have Evil Dead Rise, starring Alyssa Sutherland and Lily Sullivan. A woman finds herself in a fight for her life when an ancient book gives birth to bloodthirsty demons that run amok in a Los Angeles apartment building. Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 36 minutes long. And that's a look at what's opening up this weekend at the box office.
Hey, Roy,
back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Roy.
We appreciate that. And I had an additional information to that. The Super Mario Brothers, which broke all kinds of records last week, still number one, made $87 million, a 40% drop from last week. They still made $87 million at the box office. And
what's that?
I'm going to go Wednesday to go see it.
Are you going to go see it?
And Renfield flopped.
Is that Nicolas Cage movie? Holy crap. I've seen
$7 million.
Excerpts from that. That is the weirdest.
That's the Dracula?
Yeah. That is way.
That look weird.
Yeah,
that is way too weird for me.
Unfortunately for Nicolas Cage,
and I like
he's got a reputation now of being in some real stupid movies. One movie that I did like was
Drive Angry is my favorite.
Okay, yeah. Now that's where he was really good. And what was that? Kick-Ass. The very first one where he was killed. That was pretty good too.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. National Treasure, he was in that.
Yeah. Now he received probably the most accolades for that one. Right. So much so that and they have a little series about it now. But it's not starring Nicolas Cage. It's somebody else.
And another movie I liked that he was in, and had several other stars, and it was Con Air. Con Air was good.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with Con Air and Drive Angry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's one or two more. National Treasure. I'm sure there's one or two more that he was in. That was okay, but the bombs that he's in, they are so much larger than the hits that he may have.
And they seem to garner so much more attention than the hits. It's like, oh, Nick Cage has another movie out, and it's another awful one. It's another bomb, and it just gets so much attention that all you think of when you hear the name Nick Cage is, oh, another bad movie. And that's not really necessarily the case. I sure hope he has a good one to pull out of his sleeve here in the future.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
By the way, Rissa and Martinez Flores says, and we were talking about Girls' Night Out, says, usually us girls go out and have a few drinks, and we usually dance with each other.
That's right. Girls can dance with each other.
Why is that?
I don't know, but guys,
we can't dance with each other, but girls can.
Yeah.
Girls can practice kissing on each other, but guys can't.
I mean, unless you go to Tramps or one of those other bars that are designed for the LGBTQ community, right? And then you'll see guys dancing with each other, and it's normal.
I'm taking your word for all of that.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I read. It was in all the papers. All right. We've got to say hi to Gary Thompson. Gary's watching today. Hey, be sure to share this podcast with all the friends you have. Remember, we're live on YouTube every Monday, too, under the Jack and Ron Show. And don't forget, we got a phone number for you to call. Call it now. Operators on duty, waiting for your call. Area code 405-509-5030.
Could you repeat that?
I sure will. Let me try and give it to you again.
405. That's the area code. 405, then 509-5030. 509-5030. Call that number. Leave us a message, won't you? We'd love to hear from you.
All right. There are a lot of things that go on that stand the test of time, and a lot of things that change. And someone did a study on the things that have really, really changed. We used to really like, but we no longer like with the same amount of fervor.
I would think smoking cigarettes would be on the top of that list.
No?
No, I thought that too.
No. Garage and yard sales. now with the help of pickers and Pawn Stars and all of that, you go to some of these yard sales, garage sales, even flea markets, and you look for some of the vintage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The vintage stuff is sky high now because people are looking at food trucks.
I thought food trucks were still popular, though.
Oh, they still are.
Oh.
But the only thing now, their food is so good, they're charging restaurant prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy who has a hot dog thing that's set up over at Boulevard and 15th, Boulevard and 33rd. He's usually over there in a gas station parking lot. I went over there one day and just got a Chicago hot dog. It was $8.50 for a freaking hot dog.
I mean, you can go to the store and buy you
whole
some
pack.
Hot dogs and put, that's crazy.
Buy a package of hot dogs, buns, ketchup, mustard, whatever.
They also named the Food Network. They say
I still love the Food Network.
They say once it was a place where you could go and get new techniques, get new recipes, but now it's filled with reality competition shows.
I know. I will admit, I get tired of I've gotten I'm done with the reality competition shows. You know, this chef against that chef.
Yeah.
Who
We got
can
the
beat Bobby Flay?
Super grudge match. We got Chopped. We got all
I'm
of this
tired of
stuff.
all that.
Yeah.
What I still do like is diners, drive-ins, and dives. They go to different restaurants around the country, and I always think, you know, if I go to Atlanta or if I go to Massachusetts, I'm going to look that restaurant up and go check it out because they said it was good.
I was watching one particular episode of drivers, diners, drive-ins, and dives, and the guy he made a repeat guy went back and he says, since we've been on that show, that first time, business has been through the roof.
Yep.
And so you definitely want a guy to come and taste your food and to like it. That's great for business at this particular point.
Well, I remember Guy Fieri came to town. He went to Nick's. You remember Nick's over there on 10th and Penn, 10 Penn.
Yep.
And you and I have been there, and it only holds about 15 people in there. And Nick has great burgers, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we had to come back.
Yeah,
we had
because
to leave.
the line was too long, so we waited to come back at 10:30 in the morning or some such. Anyway, diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri. They did a show. Next thing you know, Nick's got a place downtown now in Automobile Alley.
Yeah, and I'm saying Guy also went to Florence's on 23rd.
Yep.
And she just received a James Beard Award.
Yep.
Right after that. So, hey, if Guy wants to come to your particular place to eat, tell him, come on.
Bring him in. Bring him in. All right, we got some more audio to present you. This is good stuff here. You're going to really like this. Big Tom was a guy. He's passed away a few years ago, but he used to call us everyday religious, sometimes 2 or 3 times a morning.
Yeah, depending on the subject.
Well, Tom calls in on this particular day to tell us of his desire for our former producer, a girl named Lori. And he also talks about a pesky friend who would call him on his phone multiple times a day. I thought, gee, how coincidental, Tom.
Yeah, is that where you got it from, Tom?
Anyway, this audio does end pretty abruptly due to a system malfunction years ago while recording. But enjoy this call from Big Tom. Listen up.
This is Big Bad Tom.
Good God, Big Bad Tom.
Okay.
You'd be a prime candidate to try out for American Idol.
Yeah, I sure would, because I can't sing.
Well, there were a bunch of those that tried out.
I never tried out before.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack and Ron, I got some good news and some bad news.
Okay, give us the bad news first.
Well, the bad news is that the doctor. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said I had homosexual tendencies.
Uh-huh.
And the good news is that, boy, Jack, you're real cute.
There you go.
You know, that's supposed to be a joke.
I figured as much. As
you know who told me to dare me to do that?
Gee, I can't imagine. Gee,
Ronnie K.
Yeah, so Ronnie K. Huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He'd know.
That's the kind of that's the kind of material that's getting him inducted into the Oklahoma Radio Broadcaster Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it is. Sure is. Yeah.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah, that's all it takes.
I've been working so hard all these years.
Then we're overdue.
Yeah. We should have gone in years ago.
Yeah, you should have.
How about that? Well, Big Dad Tom, what else is on the agenda? I got to ask you. Have you hooked up with Lori as of late?
Well, Lori ain't back yet.
How long has she been gone?
About 2 weeks.
Does she have any pets?
No, they don't want to allow pets over here.
Oh, really?
Darn it.
Well, what would you have if you owned a pet? If you could have a pet?
Order me a little bitty weenie dog.
Little weenie dog.
Dachshund.
Uh-huh. Those
Yeah,
are
if
nice.
I had a pet.
They can be nice little pets.
Yeah, they could.
So Lori is our former producer, and she lives over by you, and you were hoping to hook up with her and maybe become intimately involved.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. It's not happening, though. She's on the road with her boss.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, though.
Yeah,
wait a minute. You don't know. What do you suspect?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they do any hanky-panky while they're working.
Oh, no, of course not.
No, huh?
You just keep thinking
They
that,
sleep,
Tom.
they sleep in separate motel rooms.
I'm sure they do.
Is that what she told you?
No, well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Good deal.
Well, I got rid of a pesky friend.
Well, so who's this friend that's so pesty?
Well, I ain't going to tell his name. He might be listening.
What do you care? He's a pest.
Yeah, I know he's a pest.
You're trying to run him off.
Yeah. I mean, how tight are you and this guy?
Oh, not too tight. Let's give us a break one day and not call each other. Next thing I knew, about 1 o'clock that afternoon, he called me.
What do you guys talk about?
Nothing. Nothing important.
Do you think
he called me? He called me up one day. Say, I got my teeth pulled and I got some new underwear. He called me and told me that.
Almost sounds like a prison buddy.
I mean, how tight are you and this guy?
Oh, not too tight. No, I think I've got rid of him. He tells me, I asked him when I was talking to him, I said, what have you been doing? He said, nothing.
Hey, did he
just laying here in the bed,
just laying
thinking
there
about
on his
you?
bed.
Did he ever invite you to go to that gay bowling alley, Lovers
God,
Lanes?
I hope not.
Lovers Lanes?
No.
No.
Well, you never, if you play your cards right, you never strike out.
At one time, he had a gay friend, though.
Is that go figure?
I do too. I miss that guy. He, for those of you who aren't familiar with him, he would call us usually every day, and he'd always have something interesting to say. He did not work for many, many years because he said he had problems with his legs or his knees. So for some reason he was on disability.
His feet, man. Did you ever see his feet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, he just didn't maintain proper hygiene when it came to pedicuring. But anyway, he was a nice guy, and he would call all the time, and he was, I don't know if you'd call him lonely or just. Yeah, he served in the military, so I would have thought he'd be a little more self-sufficient. But he used to call and tell us about he had to have somebody go. What was his sister used to clip his nails?
Yeah,
stuff like that. I mean, I always thought, man, you're not very self-sufficient.
Well,
but you put a plate of food in front of him.
Well, that's a different story.
He was pretty self-sufficient when it came to eating that.
I know there was a remote I was doing at one point where we had hamburgers brought in, and Tom showed up.
Oh, gee,
and
go figure.
He had a hamburger in each hand, and he left.
Hamburger in each hand. Yeah, and then, that was Tom.
And then Tom came back.
Yeah, he could eat up a storm. Anyway, well, there you go. Good old
one
Tom.
of the good people. By the way, be sure if you're checking this out on YouTube, go ahead and share. Would you do that? Would you share?
Yeah, share it on Facebook
with
all your friends. You know how to share. The little thing says share. Click on it. Share it with all your friends, relatives, whoever. Your priest, your maybe your rabbi, or whoever you keep on your list of good buddies. Go and share it with them. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting. You mentioned a priest, and you're looking at what's happening at the schools now. They're trying to get a Catholic school that the people pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought that because my daughter went to, much like your son did for a long time, they went to private schools. My daughter did attend McGinnis for high school, which is a Catholic school. And we paid for that to be done, for her to go to school there. It was private school, private education, private money to take care of it. I don't understand public funds going to support private schools.
Well, everybody in the big panel they had, I think it was Friday or Saturday, it must have been Friday. They said, no, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
The people aren't going to pay for a Catholic school to be built that they 9 times out of 10 can't afford.
Yeah,
to even go to
They're trying to support the public school system to begin with, and that's hard enough.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Anyway, had to say that. That's you don't know who you have elected or voted into office until they get there and they open their mouths and you realize, I made a mistake.
There you go.
All right, let's
Here
roll.
we go.
News.
of the I'll Be Damned.
Come on.
Yes, it's news of the I'll Be Damned. How about this? A man with 6 wives. You heard right. A man with 6 wives plans to have a baby with each of them because he doesn't want to choose just one. He feels like one of them would be left out if he doesn't go. Yeah, he's got to go with all of them.
Is this in this country?
Yeah, no, it's in Brazil.
I was about to say 6 wives. Come on, either that or you're living in Utah. One or the other.
The only other alternative.
Yeah.
His name is Arthur, and Arthur is from São Paulo, Brazil. He's part of a polygamous relationship with half a dozen women: a 27-year-old, a 21-year-old, a 24-year-old, a 23-year-old, a 28-year-old, and finally, his 6th wife, a 51-year-old. She's going to have a baby too.
Oh, she must be the bottom lady.
I mean,
keep the rest of them in line.
But he's planning to have a baby with all 6. Actually, he's downsized a bit because as this 37-year-old playboy, if you want to call him that, he was previously married to an additional 4 women, but he divorced those 4 last year. But in a bid to make things right with his remaining spouses, he plans on having kids with each of them. But first, Mr. Arthur, who already has a 10-year-old daughter from a previous relationship, hopes to expand the family. He says, I don't want to make any of my 6 wives upset by choosing which one gets to be pregnant.
Oh, that'll become evident.
He said, I've never thought anything like this until now. This is a first. We're anxious and excited to make this dream of having a baby with every wife come true. But while all 6 of the women involved are on board with the idea of starting this family together, 5 of the women took a little convincing to do. And while the marriages aren't exactly legal, it will not surprise you to learn they did tie the knot in a Catholic church. Well, it's in Brazil. Everybody in Brazil is Catholic, right? So there you have your news of the I'll Be Damned. Can you imagine having 6 wives? Isn't it difficult enough having one spouse? Imagine having 6.
And especially if having those 6, none of the wives stick up for you if you're having an argument with one.
With the others.
Yeah, and they don't stick up for you. They kind of, I would imagine, kind of pile on, kind of gang up on you.
Can you imagine that? You say to the one wife says, you ate more dinner and drank more liquor than you should have last night, and you say, oh no, I didn't. I was fine. Everybody was here at the table. I had 2 platefuls of food and 12 beers. Everything was fine. And then one of the other wives chimes in and goes, I got to agree with her. Wife number 2 is correct. You overate, you overdrank. And then wife number 4 says, oh, and I'll have to also agree. And then pretty soon you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
I'm getting it from
Try to change your address. Yeah. Now, the other part is it the law in this country where we can't have more than one wife? I mean,
it is the law,
it would be nice. I think almost every man, happily married though he may be, has seen someone that he'd say, wow, if I were married to her. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that in this country?
No.
Why?
From what I understand.
I don't understand why.
That's called polygamy, and we don't go along. We don't adhere to that. We believe in monogamous relationships.
Who's the we?
The law, I guess. Here's the deal, though.
Geez.
Nothing stops you from having 6 girlfriends or 8 girlfriends if you're a guy.
Yeah.
And you wanted to have that many girls living with you. As long as you can support them.
Oh, no. They have their own barracks.
Oh, so they take care of themselves.
You want to come up to the big house to see Big Daddy, then that's one thing.
Yeah.
And you have to be real careful.
You got to make an appointment.
Yeah, and you have to be real careful before you start getting, you gave her an extra hour, an extra half hour, and I'm in here and I don't even have to take my clothes off. And I'm rushed off to the barracks. You're going to have stuff like that. But
yeah.
I was just curious,
Well, I think in our country, polygamy is illegal.
Well,
so you can't have.
I say there are a whole bunch of other laws in this country we need to do away with before we do away with polygamy.
I believe you're probably right. I won't get into it, but you're right. We got some more audio for you to check out if you like it. Often during our radio show, back when we were on terrestrial radio, as they call it, we would recreate TV shows the way we saw them. You remember an old show called Andy and Mayberry? with Andy Griffith as Sheriff Andy Taylor.
That's when CBS was country from start to finish, all day long, every show.
Yeah, they had a bunch of them.
Let's see. What is that? Beverly Hillbillies.
Gomer Pyle. Petticoat Junction.
Yep. And there was one more too. Green Acres.
Green Acres. Oh man.
And whatever other shows or westerns they may have. And believe it or not, folks, at the top of that list, the Andy Griffith Show.
And I think the Andy Griffith Show with Sheriff Andy Taylor, I think that kind of started it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andy had a son named Opie, and their aunt, Aunt B, I know, Aunt B lived with them, but Sheriff Taylor's wife was never mentioned. No pictures of her, never a mention of her.
Yeah.
So then here's one of our many.
Guess he got Opie in the settlement.
Yeah. There's no mention of the old lady. There's just Aunt B lives with them, with Andy, the sheriff, and then his son, Opie. So then here is one of our many Jack and Ron episodes of Andy of Mayberry featuring Sheriff Taylor's son, Opie.
Golly, Paul.
What's that, son?
I went downtown yesterday and I saw Helen, Barney's girlfriend, making out with Otis the drunk. Then he gave her some cash and they went into Miss Mary Lou's boarding house. Wow, Paul, what's Barney going to say? Paul, is it normal for a man to pay a woman for loving? Paul, Floyd the barber told me he would never pay a woman for kisses. Paul, when I get my hair cut, Floyd the barber always has me sit on his lap instead of in the chair like a big boy. And Paul, Floyd always runs his tongue up and down the back of my neck. He says that helps make the hair on my head stand up easier and make it easier to cut. Paul, why does Aunt B take so much time in the bathroom? Paul, every time I gotta take a leak, Aunt B's in the bathroom reading magazines and stuff. Then when she comes out, I can't go in for about an hour because, Paul, it seems like someone died in there. Paul, when will Aunt B ever find a husband and move out? And Paul, just who is Aunt B and whose aunt is she anyway? Paul, I can't wait till they open a McDonald's so we can have something good to eat. Paul, if Aunt B cooks any more of that meatloaf, I'll go postal. Paul, do I have to scrub Aunt B's feet again tonight? Her feet are covered with bunions and stuff. Paul, I'm going to town to the filling station to see if Goober will let me help change the oil on Mrs. Martin's car. We got her believing she needs to have her oil changed every 300 miles so Goober can make a good profit and stay in business. I'll see you, Paul.
Whatever happened to Opie's mother?
Yeah, they hardly ever said anything about, Andy Taylor or Andy, what was that his name on the show?
Andy of Mayberry.
Yeah, Andy of Mayberry. Yeah, Sheriff Taylor. She just, much like Drew Peterson, she just mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah. And again,
that was his fourth wife. I think his third wife died in a bathtub drowning accident. And really, with Andy of Mayberry, the wife was never there. But I remember they said the last thing the mom ever said was, "Boy, this chicken tastes funny." And I think it was Aunt B who poisoned her. Because she was living with him and she couldn't stand having another woman in the house. And Aunt B was like, "Andy, there's not room for the both of us." And so consequently, she poisoned Andy's wife. "It's too bad we'll have to attend a funeral. I'll have to get on my black dress, Andy." And so consequently, Andy never had a woman in that show.
And because they did have a little son, it was natural for Aunt B just to stay there. Stay there and help raise this child. And of course, big problem for Andy because he couldn't bring any hot babes home. Yeah. Come on over. We'll swing in the swing, that is. On the front porch.
Yeah. Oh, big thrill.
Yeah.
And we'll have a lemonade. "Andy, I made lemonade for you, but I won't make it for that bitch you're sitting with."
Oh,
there you go, Andy of Mayberry. I hope you guys all remember that show.
Oh,
I think it's still on, still showing in reruns.
And something folks may not know. I don't know who was doing the whistling, but it wasn't either Opie or Andy. And when he throws the little brick or whatever it is into the water, he couldn't do it. So what they did, you'll see him throw it, and then they'll cut to just the water, and you'll see the rock go in. He never threw the rock in the water.
That was we're talking about the kid, Opie, Ron Howard.
Yeah.
He didn't have quite the arm strength to throw the brick or whatever it was he was throwing, the rock or whatever.
Yeah, just a little rock.
Just a little rock. He didn't have the arm strength.
They go fishing.
Yeah, he didn't have the arm strength to reach the pond with the rock. Why didn't they just put him closer to the bank, closer to the shore.
It's just easy to get somebody to throw the rock in there instead of redoing
and that
everything.
way the union has to pay that guy, the prop guy, to throw it in there, and then another camera guy to shoot it. It's all about the money.
And see, and that would hack Andy off. A lot of folks didn't know. Andy Griffin was somewhat of a tyrant. So they didn't want to.
The real Andy, you're talking about the real
Andy. The real
one,
one, in real life, was sort of a tyrant. And at this particular point, when you have the number one show in the country, you kind of get your way.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy, yeah, once you have the big one, the big show, you can pretty much call the shots. All right. It's Jack and Ron here. Remember our phone number, 509-5030. Yeah. I wish the hell I could remember it. 405-509-5030. That's 405-509-5030. Call the number right now. Leave us a message, and we'll get back to you.
And, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure and share. Would you do that?
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, share it with everybody you know.
Every single person you know.
There you go. The number one video podcast in America. Time now for your
sleazy, trashy showbiz report.
Well, let's go on out to California, shall we? Time Magazine's list of the 100 most influential Americans include, we're not going to do the whole 100, don't worry about that, President Biden, Angela Bassett, Elon Musk.
Angela Bassett, of
Michael B. Jordan, Beyonce, and Patrick Mahomes. Just some who are on the list.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Now, that's not is that the top 5, or is that just some random?
Some of the people are on there.
What about Trump? Is he on there?
No.
I would think he'd be on.
I didn't read the whole list. I took the top 10, I think.
Okay.
And just picked up.
So we know he's in the bottom 20 or whatever, or something like that, below number 10 for sure. Okay.
He's going to be on the bottom, all right. As soon as he finishes this case, I think, watching the news, I think he has 4 or 5 more lawsuits lined up waiting on him as soon as he finishes this. All right. Hollywood update, my friend. Pete Davidson says his penis is very normal, a very normal size that he's been told. He says big enough to enjoy, but not big enough to hurt. All right. Heidi.
Thanks, Pete, for that.
Well, that was the big rumor running around all the time that Pete was packing.
Yeah, that he was over-endowed.
Yeah, but he says, no, that's not it.
Sure.
And so far, no one's come forward to say, yes, you are, Pete. Yes, you are. No one's done that. All right.
I was with you, and I feel like damaged goods.
Heidi Klum says the wings of Victoria's Secret runway that they have, I said you have to admire those models. Those wings are 50 pounds each. And
most of those girls barely weigh 50 pounds.
Yeah, and they have to go out there and wear. That's something else. Jennifer Garner says her kids don't like to watch her movies because it's weird seeing her kiss somebody else on television or cry.
I could agree with that. I can see how a kid would sit there and go, "Wait a minute, mommy.
Yeah,
you're kissing this guy."
I'm wondering what's
Daddy think?
What does that do to everyone else? I mean, the other actresses and maybe actors that have kids. Do you bar them from watching the movie, especially if it's rated R?
Super popular or whatever?
Hey, the next James Bond won't be a young newbie. According to all of the producers, they say they want someone who has had a little life experience. So there won't be any young Jimmy Bond, my first case. And
how about Robert De Niro? I think he'd be good.
No.
Why not?
Well, you know how old Robert. Have you seen the last few James Bond flicks? Yeah, they're pretty. He's pretty active, man.
That's true.
Yeah, so
he's flying through the air. Yeah, I know what you're saying. What about Daniel Craig? He said he'll never do another
he's done.
one.
Yeah, he's done. And none of the others are coming back.
I saw Daniel Craig's wife on some show, and then they showed a picture of her with him. Well, is she like 20 years younger than him? Have you seen the two of them? Wow.
Yeah, well, he's James Bond, man.
I guess so.
Okay. Ryan Seacrest said goodbye to Live with Kelly and Ryan on Friday.
And nobody cried.
No, he did.
No,
they showed him off camera, but it was off camera. He said, "This is what you didn't see." And somebody handed him a napkin or whatever, and he was wiping his eyes and went back out. I saw his girlfriend, his parents, and his hardly ever seen girlfriend.
He's got a girlfriend?
Yeah, was in the audience.
Wow.
Or at least someone who's masquerading as his girlfriend. Jamie Foxx recovering from an illness that no one is talking about right now, but they say it was serious, but they hope that he'll be well and he'll be back real soon.
We hadn't heard a thing about that.
Yeah, I'm hip. I mean, he has what is that? Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam.
That his daughter is on, but
right.
He's working on another movie as well.
Wow.
And it's kind of it's kind of crazy. I feel bad for him, man. And then of course, what was that? Kerry Washington, very concerned. They're trying to get them back together. You know, she was Ray Charles' wife in Ray, and was also Django's girlfriend in Django. So Jamie Foxx and Kerry Washington, they've done a couple of movies together. What's going to happen next? Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner, their relationship seems to be real. Her car was caught at his residence. And finally, Meghan Markle says, I'm staying home. King Charles III's coronation is coming up. Everybody was invited. But it seems that Archie, her son's birthday, is on the same day as the coronation. And she says, I am staying, you know, Harry's going, but I'm going to stay here. By the way, Sarah Ferguson, remember her?
Sure.
Yeah, she wasn't invited.
Oh.
Which I think was kind of funky.
But yet, Harry and Meghan Markle were invited, but she's staying back. The kid's got a birthday.
Yeah.
Here was my thought on that, too. Somebody else said, can you believe she's not going? And I said, well, look at it this way. You've got, what do they got, 2 kids now? Something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I said, imagine taking a little kid and putting him through all that pomp and circumstance, you know, and when they have that coronation and all, it's like an all day or 2-day thing. What kid wants to sit through? The kids get
well, you
antsy.
see what Kate Middleton, you see how that little kid was acting when I guess the queen was up and she had to say something to him. And
the kid gets antsy, yeah.
And see, obviously that kid has been, I don't know, catered to.
They're
because
groomed to do that kind of crap.
You, well, I mean, he should mind, because can you imagine, say, like your mom or my mom, if we were acting up, they wouldn't have to keep saying anything.
No.
You get that look.
Yeah.
And that look means, you know, we're not going to be here forever.
There you go.
And anyway, that is your Hollywood update.
All right, we got to get to your
dumbass joke of the day.
The dumbass joke of the day. Who is ready for this? I am. Hope you are too. Everybody watching on YouTube, The Jack and Ron Show on YouTube, or right here on Facebook, if you will. Share it with everybody, and that way they can hear these great jokes as well. You know the drill. We give you 3 very cheesy jokes to choose from. In fact, we ask Ron to pick one of the cheesy jokes. So once again, Ron gets to pick his cheese. The jokes today: number 1, the Chinese doctor; number 2, the boss; number 3, John in the lumberyard. Let me give them to you again. Chinese doctor, the boss, John in the lumberyard.
In the interest of international relations, let's go with the Chinese story. Oh, by the way, Arissa Ann Martinez Flores says she remembers Tom, but she has to go, and hopes that we both have a blessed week. We hope you have a blessed week as well.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
Thank you for
that,
caring
yeah.
enough to even comment.
To even consider us, yeah.
Appreciate it. But,
All right.
but
Okay,
anyway,
so
yeah,
the Chinese doctor.
The Chinese doctor.
Okay, this is a bit of a long one, so bear with me. Hang on, I know your attention span sometimes is like mine, that of fresh fruit. A Chinese doctor can't find a job in a hospital in America, so he opens up his own clinic, puts a sign outside that reads, "Get treatment for $20. If not cured, get back $100. Okay, you got it? Get treatment for $20. If you don't cure you, get back $100. So an American lawyer thinks this is a great opportunity to earn $100. He goes to the clinic. Lawyer says, I've lost my sense of taste. Chinese guy says, the doctor says, nurse, bring medicine from box number 14. Put 3 drops in the patient's mouth. The lawyer goes, ugh, this is kerosene. The Chinese doctor says, congratulations, your sense of taste is restored. Give me my $20. The very annoyed lawyer goes back after a few days to try to recover his money. Lawyer says, I've lost my memory. I can't remember anything. The Chinese doctor says, nurse, bring me medicine from box number 14. Put 3 drops in his mouth. The lawyer goes, this is kerosene. You gave me kerosene the last time I was here. The doctor says, congratulations, you got your memory back. Give me my $20. And finally, the lawyer pays him, comes back a week later. He wants to get that $100. He says, doctor, my eyesight has become very weak. I cannot see at all. The Chinese doctor says, well, I have no medicine for that. So here, take this $100 bill. The lawyer looks at the note and says, wait a minute, this is a 20, not 100. Doctor says, congratulations, your eyesight is restored. Give me the $20. I know it's a long one, but it's pretty damn good.
That's good. That's
You
good.
liked it? I want a shorty. Want one? Okay, I'll give you a shorter one. Okay, the boss in a large office, big office, he was compelled to call Jeff, one of his workers, into the office. The boss says, Jeff, it has not escaped my attention that every time there's a home game at the stadium, you seem to have to take your aunt to the doctor. And Jeff says, you know, you're right. I didn't realize it. You don't suppose she's faking it, do you? Okay, not bad. All right, I'm giving you one last one so that maybe you can actually laugh. Okay, a guy named John working at the lumberyard. He's pushing a tree through the buzzsaw. He accidentally shears off all 10 of his fingers. Shears off all 10 fingers.
Jeez.
It cuts them all off. He goes to the emergency room. The doctor says, ugh, what a mess. Well, give me the fingers and I'll see what I can do. And John says, I don't have the fingers. And the doctor says, what do you mean? You haven't got the fingers. It's 2023 for crying out loud. We've got microsurgery and all kinds of incredible techniques. I could have put them back on and made you like new. Why didn't you bring the fingers? John says, well, what the hell? I couldn't pick them up. Okay, you got it. You figured it all out. Are these too long? Are these too involved?
No. It's just one of those weeks.
Okay, well, I tried. You know, the only failure is not to try.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we got to go to Tribond real quick and knock this out and hope somebody enjoys it. Please. All right. By the way, this is the #1 video podcast in America. I know you're saying to yourself,
Yeah, really?
as you scratch your head. You got to be kidding. Yeah. All right. Tribond. We give you 3 words. You got to come up with one word that works for the 3. The 3 words must match mine. Your 3 words. We gave you these 3 last week. You've had an entire 7 days to think of it. Hop, insurance, wax. Hop, insurance, wax.
Oh, yeah. I knew this one.
Which one?
Car.
Car is right.
Yep.
Car hop, car insurance, car wax. Great job.
Thank you.
Good job, Richard. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, now we move on to this week's Tribond. Okay, we'll give it to you now, and you'll have 7 days. Come back next Monday on April 24th, and you'll have to come up with the answer by then. Oh, this one is so easy. I swear to God.
We're talking about a 3-legged dog.
3-legged dog with no tail and an eye patch could get it. I'm telling you what, a chicken with only 1 feather and no pecker could get this one.
Woo.
Here we go. A monkey with no banana and a tail could get this. Okay, here we go. The 3 words. Beaver, Yankees, Hoover. Beaver, Yankees, Hoover.
Oh, wow, Jack.
That's
that is
easy. It's easy. I know. Trying to make it easy for you guys because so often I get emails and phone messages and what have you from people and text messages saying, oh, you got to make it so difficult. I don't have that kind of mind power. So we made it easy. Anybody could get that one. Am I right?
Yeah.
Again, the 3 words, Beaver, Yankees, Hoover. There you go.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up as we give you the answer to this week's 2 Tough Trivia. It was first called the Entertainment Learning System. That's when it first came out. That's what it was called. What do we call it now?
The Entertainment Learning System. Mm-hmm. I thought Richard was onto something with PBS. I thought I was on something with school, but that's not in
Are we
one of those.
close at all? Are we close at all?
To what?
The answer.
No, you're not.
Yeah, okay.
No. Oh, what's your guess, first of all?
It's PBS?
No. And
Okay, mine was school.
No.
Okay, so the question again is what?
It was first called the Entertainment Learning System. What do we call it today?
I don't know.
I know I'm going to, when the minute you say it, I'm going to go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Nintendo.
Wow.
I never would have thought that.
I think I knew that.
You did?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought that. Nintendo.
Yep.
ELS.
This is called that's it.
Entertainment
ELS, the Entertainment Learning System.
I was saying that earlier too.
That
'cause it
does
sounded
make
so
sense.
familiar.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, well.
You think you know a guy.
Yeah.
Well,
hey,
next week
we
we'll
were
have
rooting
another.
for you, man. We were rooting for you.
Next week we'll have another Too Tough trivia question for you, as well as Tribond. We'll have more news of the I'll Be Damned email, Roy the Movie Guy, and so much other crap. We put together this incredible 1-hour podcast for you each and every week, and we put a lot of time and effort into it. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we put a lot of time and effort into this crap. So we hope that you'll hang out next week as well. And be sure to share this with all your friends. Let them know that Jack and Ron are back doing the number 1 video podcast in America. And if you want to let us know what you think of the show, go ahead and call us. Leave us a message at area 405-509-5030. That's area code 405-509-5030.
And something we can go ahead and ponder, and you can ponder this as well. Jack and Ron, not in the Oklahoma Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Why?
Wow.
Why? Have you looked to see some of the people that they have on there? Well, let me do. Have you?
Okay. Maybe we'll have an answer for you next week. Maybe not. All right, we got to get out of here. Remember, when you go out to do what you do it like Jack and Ron. And by the way, before we go, a quick thank you to Flash Hauler, number 1 sponsor of this podcast. If ever you need to move anything, be it large or small, contact Flash Hauler. Go to the website, flashhauler.com.
Yeah, ladies, you want to move out before he gets home from work? Flash Haulers can hook you up.
Yeah, they can do it in minutes. Contact them, Flash Hauler, FLASHOLR.com, flashhauler.com. Thanks to Othello's Italian Restaurant. We do the show each week from right here at Othello's in Edmond, Oklahoma. And you can check out their other location on Campus Corner in Norman. And thanks to Richard, the executive producer, the guy who runs all the gear and does all the work.
Oh, the guy works hard. You know what? He doesn't get enough credit. And at some point in time, we're going to have to take a break so he can come around here so everyone can see this guy.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, it's always nice to have an extra person to blame. All right. Now,
that should wrap her up. When you go out to do what you do it like Jack and Ron. Be the very best at what you do, right? Be the best at what you do. Give it 110, 120, 130% effort. Like Jack and Ron. Go out there. Give it hell.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good day.